Hello my preschool friends and welcome to our story time video. Today's story is Radio Man, written by Arthur Dorros. Based on this cover, what do you think this book is about? It could be. I see 3 people in a field working. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you can see them in the background. 5 people working in the field. It looks like they're picking lettuce or cabbage, and then right down here, what is that right there? That is a radio. Who do you think is the Radio Man? It could be. Well, shall we read the story and find out? All right. Radio Man, a story in English and Spanish, written by Arthur Dorros. Spanish translation by Sandra Merlando Dorros. Diego woke up to sounds of a deep voice on the radio. Buenos dias, good morning. The words in Spanish and English echoed across the room. Esta es la voz de la frontera. This is the voice of the border. Good morning, Texans. ¿Está listo? Asked Diego's grandfather, abuelo. I'm ready, said Diego. Beep, beep. A truck's horn sounded outside. Diego's mother, father, and little sister, Alicia, were already waiting in the front seat of the truck. Do you see the truck out the window? Yep. Who's in the truck? That's right, Diego's father, mother, and little sister, Alicia. Diego carried the radio and climbed into the truck. Hey, Radio Man, called Diego's friend David. David called him Radio Man because Diego was always listening to the radio. Can I ride with you today? Sí, vamos, said Papa, waving. Yes, let's go, said Diego. We won't see each other for a while. My family's leaving here tomorrow. So is my family, said David. Why do you think the families are leaving? Oh, maybe. Yeah. Why did Diego's friend call him Radio Man? Yeah, because he always carried a radio. Yeah. Diego's family and David's family were migrant farm workers. They traveled most of each year to find work picking fruits and vegetables. This was the last day of cabbage picking. It was dusty and hot in the fields. The boxes of cabbages seemed heavy. Como elefantes, said abuelo. David and Diego thought the boxes were as heavy as elephants too. So what do you think Grandpa said? Yeah, that they were heavy as elephants, just like David and Diego thought too. While they rode back to the cabins, Diego turned the radio to a station that played songs in Spanish. Everyone was tired from the work. Canta, said Mama. Diego sang. David tapped a rhythm on the side of the truck, and Mama helped Alicia clap hands in time to the music. So why did Diego bring a radio, do you think? Yeah, to listen to music and maybe help time pass faster. The next morning, Diego and David said goodbye. They hoped they would see each other soon. Diego waved until David was out of sight. Diego and his family drove west over the mountains. You're listening to KKTS, Cactus Radio, broadcasting from Tucson, Seguro Cactus Land, said the man's voice on the radio that night. This is the After Sundown Show, and I'm the Night Owl. So where are Diego and his family going again? Yeah, so they're moving to where the work is, where they can pick other fruits or vegetables for work. On highways, on narrow roads, and through small towns, the family drove from farm to farm, looking for work. Hello, you're turned into Bird Radio of Phoenix, Arizona. I'm talking to you from the banks of the Gila River. When the radio voice got louder and louder, Diego knew they were getting closer to a town. How did he know that they were getting closer to a town? Oh, yeah, because the closer they are to the town, the clearer the radio and louder the voice on the radio gets. If you can see back here, do you know what that is? That is a radio tower. Yeah. At the melon farm where his family found work, Diego saw his cousins, Sophie and Ernesto. Their family had also found work here. He hadn't seen these cousins in a long time. The three walked to school together every morning. When they went back to the fields after school, they looked for Gila monsters. Once David had told Diego about Gilas, but Diego had never seen one. "There's a Gila," said Diego on the last day of picking. "It looks like one of their dinosaurs, Ernesto." "So where's the Gila monster at?" "Yeah, it's right there." Wow. That night, there was a party with music, food, and a piñata to celebrate the end of melon picking. "Veamos," said Abuelo, and people danced to music from the radio. Sophie broke the piñata. "I didn't think you could run so fast," Diego said to Ernesto. "You looked like you were being chased by Gilas," said Ernesto. Have you ever had a piñata at a party before? What do you fill piñatas with? Yeah, fill them with candy or sometimes little toys. Yeah. The next day, Diego's family started the long drive to the cherry farms. It was hot in the truck during the day, so the family drove through the cool night. Diego was almost asleep, leaning against Abuelo, when Abuelo jiggled his arm. "Escucha," he said, Diego listening to cracking sounds coming from the radio. Abuelo turned the radio slowly. "Buenas noches." The voice spoke only in Spanish. The songs were in Spanish, too. Why do you think the songs and everything were in Spanish? Oh, maybe. Well, let's find out. Abuelo heard one of his favorite songs, La Paloma. He told Diego that this station was far, far away in Mexico. Abuelo had listened to the same song in the village where he grew up. He told Diego about that village, about the forest where butterflies looked like leaves on trees, and about the houses shining in the moonlight. By dawn, the family was near Lodi, California. "Good morning, everyone," said the radio woman's voice. She played a song called Stuck in Lodi again. Diego had heard that song every summer when he and his family came to Lodi to pick the cherries. But Diego never felt stuck in Lodi. He always met someone new. Maybe David would be here too. Diego saw two boys he had known at school in Arizona, but he did not find David. Why do you think he didn't find David? I wonder, where is David? Yeah, if his family is doing the exact same thing as Diego's family, moving around place, finding work, they might be somewhere else. Where do you think they could be? Yeah, they might be. While he emptied buckets of cherries and took care of Alicia, Diego looked for his friend. During all the days of cherry picking, he looked, but David did not arrive. "Today's the last day of cherry picking," the woman on the radio said. "It's been a great harvest this year. We'll go north to new places," said Papa. Why do you think they're going to head north? Oh, maybe. Let's find out. Whoa, look at this picture. What's the family doing? Wow, have you ever seen trees that big? Wow. Papa drove until fog swirled around the truck. Diego heard the ocean waves crashing. "You're listening to Big Radio in Crescent City, gateway to the Giants," the radio man said. The Giants were redwood trees. One tree had a tunnel big enough to drive through. "I'll tell David about this," said Diego. So they're driving through that big tree. The person on the radio called them redwood trees. Have you ever seen a redwood tree before like this? That's awesome. The family drove through forests and through dry county. They stopped at a roadside store to get something to drink and eat. A woman was looking at melons, trying to find a ripe one to buy. Diego wondered if those were melons he and his family had picked. He looked at the rows of fruit and vegetables. He knew how to pick them. How does Diego know how to pick the right fruits and vegetables? Yeah, he probably learned it because he was working on those farms, helping out. Finally, the family reached orchards of trees so heavy with apples and the branches almost touched the ground. Diego had never been here before. Ahora anuncios de KMPO Campo Radio Campesina de Sunnyside, Washington. Now, announcements from KMPO Campo Farm Workers Radio from Sunnyside, Washington. The radio announcer gave a telephone number so that people could call in and give their messages. Diego turned up the volume. Have you guys ever been to Sunnyside, Washington? Yeah, that's kind of in like the central part of our state. We are all the way towards the water and there in this middle. That is so cool. Have you guys ever gone apple picking before? It's a pretty hard job. Now, Diego turned up the radio. The radio announcer gave a telephone number so that people could call and give their messages, and Diego turned up the volume. Why do you think he did that? Oh, maybe. Let's see. Paco, this is Lupe. Feliz cumpleaños. Happy birthday. Alina, your cousin called. We will arrive on Friday. Diego listened to the messages and to the KMPO telephone number again. He ran to a telephone and called the station. The announcer answered, Buenos dias, do you have a message? Diego did have a message. Hello, David, this is Diego. Are you here? Diego heard his own voice on the radio. So Diego gave a message to David. Do you think David will hear it? Oh, I sure hope so. Someone was listening. Who's that? It's David. David heard him all over there. Where do you think David is? Yeah, it looks like he's also in Sunnyside, Washington, because look, those look like apple trees. And then up here is the mountains. Wow, look at that. So they started all the way here in Texas. They were picking cabbage. Then they went up here to Arizona to pick melons. And then they went to California to pick cherries. And then they drove all the way up north to pick apples here in Sunnyside, Washington. Wow. That is a lot. Oh, and that's the end of our story. So in the end, Diego was able to reach David. Do you think that they were able to find each other in Sunnyside, Washington? They might have been, yeah. Now, why was Diego called a radio man? Right, because he always had a radio on him. How was Diego able to get a message to David? Right, because he called the radio station and said his message on there, and David was able to hear it because he too had a radio tuned into that station. That is awesome. What great friends they are, able to find each other after traveling for so long. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, my friends, for listening and following along and answering all of my questions. I hope that you enjoyed the story as much as I did. All right, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.